Hey guys, so I decided to start my weekly vlog on Sunday this week since I didn't get to vlog much last week, and I'm also going to be vlogging at home more, showing you how I'm prepping and preparing for the week and the year as a whole. So hopefully I can get a lot more footage that way, especially since I don't vlog during the day at school. I will only be vlogging in the mornings and after school, so that's because I don't get any breaks. So I finally went ahead and made the time cards for my schedule cards. I had to print out a few extra schedule cards. So this is what my schedule cards look like. They vary between these three colors, and then the time cards I'm going to cut out, and they're going to sit next to the accommodating time, or I don't know what word to use there. But I just went ahead and made these black because this is pretty colorful as it is, and I didn't want it to get super confusing. So I made a few variations of times just to have, and then I also made this Class Dojo consequences little poster thing. So we use Class Dojo in 4th grade, and what we do is we start the kids off with 3 points every day, and if they drop down to 2 points, it's just a warning. If they drop down to 1 point, they receive silent lunch, and if they get 0 points, they are getting a note home. So that is just part of our behavior system. So the other teachers were hanging little posters, obviously not this cute, but shh, don't tell them, in their classrooms. So I decided to go ahead and whip something up and make my own. So I have to cut these out. Don't have to cut this out. That's what I love about home laminators, because it's so sturdy and it has like a beautiful like laminated border around it, because the sleeve fits perfectly around the paper. And all of these I did on cardstock. I also spent like my entire day yesterday making labels for our students' materials. I made these for my class and my partner teacher's class. So we have the labels for like their agenda, their take-home folder, their binders, their notebooks, their folders, all of that stuff. I went ahead and I put their names on them, and then the label of whatever it is. So some say the exact thing, some just say math, some just say ELA, and then the child's name is where my finger is. So I put in a baggie. Now there was probably a much better way I could have organized this entire thing, but it was so difficult, and I was working in Microsoft Word because that's the only way I could get the label format to come up, and I do not like Microsoft Word. I couldn't like duplicate the page and just do it over and over and over again. I literally had to retype these kids' names so many times. So if anyone knows how to make labels in PowerPoint that fit like the 3 in a row, 3 columns of like letter labels, let me know if you have any idea what I'm talking about. So I finally cut out all the different ones. There's like so many different pieces in here. Let me just like spread it out and show you. I had to do a lot of cutting and organizing and rearranging, and so all the labels for the one child are in a Ziploc bag. So I have almost 60 Ziploc bags. But this is going to hopefully be a much more efficient way for our kids to label their things instead of having them write their name. And so it won't look sloppy, and it'll just be beautiful. So hoping this is worth it because I spent an entire day making these. So I've gone ahead and done a couple of things. I finished cutting out my schedule cards and I printed my multiplication and division study log. If you guys would like, I can put this on Teachers Pay Teachers. I'll just have to change a few of the fonts, but I will show you what I have. So our quizzes consist of both multiplication and division. That's why it says both of those. And we just have the kids study their facts every night. This piece on the bottom here I love because you can circle or have the kids circle or highlight the facts that you want them to focus on for that week. And then they can tell you what they studied, and instead of writing out like, oh, I used flashcards every single night, because I feel like that's what they would write. I have variations of ways they could study, so they could put a check mark. I like how it asks which problem did they struggle with, and then we ask for parent initials just so we know that parents are on board with us and that this is happening. I did make a huge letter to go along with this, but obviously it's all up to you guys how you go about these things. It just talks about the ways we are testing the kids and how the whole process works. So if you want to pause and read it, you can, but that's just that. And now I am working on this book survey thing. I made it really simple because I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. It's just something so I can know what kinds of things my students are interested in and try to recommend some books to them. So I'm going to put this on my Teachers Pay Teachers store as well. But it just says, I'm excited to read, yes or no. So right away I will know who really loves to read and who doesn't. Then it says circle 3 statements that you agree with the most. So I have like variations of like genres here without really saying what the genre is. I like scary stories. I like stories I can connect to. I like learning about things that happened in the past. I like adventure. I like stories about dragons. I like learning about important people. I like books that make me laugh. I like books that take me to another world. And then on the bottom here, I have a few questions that are more along the lines of helping me get to know the students. So my all-time favorite book is, my all-time favorite series is, I should probably put book series. My favorite movie is, after school I like to, one thing I did this summer was, that should say, one book I would like to read is blank. So right away I'll know something they have already read, and maybe I can pull things that are similar to that, and I'll know a book that they do want to read, so if I have that book I can pull it for them too. My plan with this is if I have time on the first day, like this is going to be one of those like filler things, like if I have a short amount of time, not really sure what to do with it, I'm going to have the kids fill this out. That way, when they come in on Tuesday, I will have books on their desk for them based on this. I think I'm really only going to pick 2 or 3 books, and these are pretty general things, so I could really go anywhere with it. And that's when I'm going to explain the whole classroom library, how it works kind of deal, but they'll already have books at their seat. So I'll let you know how that goes. This is going to go in my TPT store. I just have to change the font. So I am currently working on my plans for tomorrow. I have a couple things. I write out my entire first day. I only do this for my first day, so I was just trying to be as descriptive as possible. And in my paper plan book here, which you guys saw me put together in one of my other vlogs, I have a few ideas down. So basically, I'm going to kind of mix these two together and other things that have come up and changed and add it all into my plan book. As you can see, for the first day here, I already have my morning work, which is the finish the picture activity. It's just a squiggly line that I want the kids to just draw with. And I haven't decided if I'm going to give them something to color with yet. It depends how much time I will need in the morning, so I can always pass out crayons and colored pencils to be used with that. For morning meeting, on here I have introductions handshake, but I'm actually going to change that. We are going to talk about saying hello or good morning with eye contact, because I figured this is more basic than having to touch everyone in the classroom on the first day. In morning meeting, I'm not going to add in all the stuff that I wrote on this paper, but here I just talked about how we move from our desks to the carpet and how we sit on the carpet and the purpose of morning meeting. I'm going to talk about all of that there. And after that, we're going to do a get to know me PowerPoint, and then I have an activity. So I'm going to fill that all out, and I also need to film the first day jitters tag. So I need to get myself a little put together for that. So I've pretty much mapped out my day. I need to still add extra things. I have like notes at the bottom of things to remind myself to do certain things, and I have like little bullet points at each number to also remember certain things. I'm going to have my homeroom for a majority of the day, all the way until lunch. So that's like from 7:45 to 12:25. And then I'm going to have second class for the end of the day. So 12:55, which would be probably like 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And I'm sure we'll switch back at 2 o'clock to get dismissal ready. So for 1 hour, I'll have my other class, which is a big difference. But we need to do like housekeeping stuff with our homerooms. So I have pretty much the gist of everything. Now I just want to add some extra things like this finish the picture activity. Some of them might not be interested in drawing. Like I just need to have something else ready to go. So I'm going to create my Jenga activity so they can play Jenga while I'm getting paperwork together and things like that. I'm sure I have enough. I just want to be over prepared just in case, and anything we don't get to Monday, we will do Tuesday. So I just quickly put together this Jenga game. I have pink, purple, orange, black, blue, green, and red as the colors on my Jenga pieces, and there's just questions like, how many pets do you have? What's your favorite TV show? What's your favorite emoji? What's the best lunch? How many brothers and sisters do you have? Things like that. So I have 3 questions for each color, because the chances of the same kid picking the same color more than 3 times is pretty slim. So I'll just let them, whatever color they pull out, they can pick a question from that color. Alright guys, so football's on, dishwasher's running, my lunch is packed. Let me show you what I am bringing. This is a mix of peppers, green beans, and cauliflower, just raw vegetables, and black bean hummus. And then I have another big container just like this with mixed fruit. Trying to be as healthy as possible. For breakfast, I have pre-cut peppers, which I don't recommend buying because they were $8, but they're cut, and I like to crack an egg in the middle of it on the stove in the morning for breakfast and eat that with some hot sauce. And then I also have I got these breakfast essentials just to make sure I have like all my nutrition, like not even just because I want to drink a shake, just because I want to make sure that I'm not going to like pass out from malnutrition. So that is my lunch. I'll probably put some like peanut butter crackers in there too, just in case. And that's just gonna go right in my fridge, and then I'll grab it in the morning. So I'm gonna curl my hair, and then I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the night. My plans are made, they're printed, all my copies are printed. My plan is to get to school at 6:30. We'll see how that goes. I have morning duty tomorrow, which means I need to be in the 4th grade hall to make sure they're all sitting quietly. So I need to be there by 7:30, and I need an hour of prep before that I want to give myself. So yeah, that is that. Good morning, guys. It's 6:15, so it's really dark out, but it's the first day of school and I am on my way, so I'll see you when I get there. Okay, so I've been organizing things. I put all the labels I made last night into table baskets, so they're already separated by table. And now I have my study logs and the letter that goes with it. I have to staple these together. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I also pulled up all of my PowerPoints on my computer. They're ready to go. I have 2 and a Kahoot. I checked my Chromebooks. They are charged. So we are in business. Guys, everything I have time to set up is set up. So I have to go do morning duty. I will talk to you after school. Hey guys, I've changed into my workout clothes. It was an amazing day. I'll talk about it later. Right now I'm sorting through all of this. I think I'm just gonna end up putting it all in that big tub up there because I have enough for right now and my head is pounding. But it was an amazing day. Someone brought in black Ticonderoga pencils. Oh my goodness. Now I have my whole teacher supply for the year. I keep them, oops, in my small group supply caddy. It's black and yellow, Bumblebee, you know. So, awesome. Cool. Here's all the extra supplies in this deep bin. I think it's from Big Lots or Target. They have the same ones. I kept out some highlighters because some kids were missing them. I'll probably take out a couple more. And then I just have these. I want to return these to the student who they belong to because, like, these are nice. Keep them in your pencil case, kid. And I don't need markers. So, that's that. My stuffed animals were in that box. So now I have to figure out what I'm doing with them. So right now I'm labeling my bins with these huge ones because these are the ones I ordered by accident. So I'm just getting those done. It's just those and those 3 because tomorrow we're talking about the library. So I had my kids fill out their book surveys and I really like that I did this. I think it's getting them excited about reading. I'm picking out 2 books each for every kid to start reading tomorrow and decide which one they want to keep reading, just to give them an idea and maybe try something new that they wouldn't pick out on their own. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. This is in my TPT store. My link is down below. So I picked out books for all of them. It actually wasn't difficult at all. Basically, if they asked for a book, I tried to find something similar to it, and then when they circled like a particular series, I just picked one out of the bin. It was really helpful that everything is labeled though, like super helpful. I'm really, really excited about this. You guys should definitely try something like it. All right, so sorry about the lighting. First of all, it is 9 o'clock. I meant to film like right when I got home from school, but then we ended up cooking dinner, and I've just been getting my plans together for tomorrow. So this is the first time I've been able to just like be here and reflect about my day, and it is something I wanted to do, reflect. So how did it go? I feel like a pro. Like, today was just so fun for me, and I don't, like, every single time something like this happens to me, or I feel this way, it's just like, I know that I was meant to be a teacher, and it's so fantastic. I am blessed with the most amazing, amazing class, sweetest children who, like, took on my rules very well. I love how I organized everything, and just the flow was perfect. I overplanned, so certain times I would like pick and choose the most important things to do and made sure they get done. There was never really any time where the kids were just sitting around doing nothing, which is awesome. Labeling our materials was like, some kids were faster than others, which I mean is going to happen, and they were completely fine. I think it's because I started with that. So they were still like in their first day of school shy mode. So that was good because they didn't start messing around and playing with the people at their table and talking and everything. They were just waiting for directions, which was really, really nice. And then my kids that were slower, it wasn't even because they were talking to people next to them. It's just probably because they've been in summer and it's like, oh my goodness, I'm in school. I have to focus again. So that was really great. They loved the Jenga I created, so I will put that in my Teachers Pay Teachers store as well. I just created questions to go with different colors that I labeled my Jenga with. So it's basically going to just be a question sheet. And that is what they did while I went through their paperwork, which was nice. Right away, also before we labeled any materials, I collected all of their paperwork in a stack. So it made me like a little nervous because like there was checks and cash, and I had to remember what and who belonged to, and yada yada yada. So I was a little bit stressed because I couldn't get to that right away, but I mean, it's fine. It all worked out. Everything was where it belonged, everything. So it was all good. And I did attendance, did lunch choice, which we're doing online now, which is pretty cool. The kids used to have to, it was like a job. We had one kid would write down the lunch count and bring it to the cafeteria ladies. Well, now we're doing a Google Doc, which is really nice. And I did my rules and procedures on a PowerPoint, just like the basic like bathroom pencil sharpening kind of procedures, with a bunch of memes, and the kids really loved that. It made it fun because they were wondering what meme came next. So they were engaged just because of the little pictures, and we had a really good discussion on what is being kind, what is showing respect, what is working hard. And we used that throughout our day. When things would happen, I would be like, hey, is that really respectful? Or is that very kind of you? Just different things. And overall, the day it was so amazing, and I'm so happy. And tomorrow I'm not teaching content again because I'm just trying to ease into everything. There's still some housekeeping things we need to do. I'm going to give the kids a timed multiplication and division test just to do like a little practice one just on zeros and ones. And that way, when it comes time for us to do it, an actual one next week, we would have already gone over the procedures and everything, so I won't have to take up time then. I'm also going to go over their morning work tomorrow. We do math morning work, which is like a spiral review. We're starting with some 3rd grade stuff, so they'll already have been exposed to it. And I'm just going to do the first 2 days with them. I'll show you what that looks like tomorrow. It's from the Math for Today book, like the number 4. So I'm going to do the first 2 days with them, and that way they can understand what they are supposed to be doing and my expectations for them. And they get to look through my book recommendations tomorrow, and it's just going to be a fun day. So I'm really excited. Like, I had a headache by the end of the day, but I didn't notice it until the kids were gone, so that was nice. My feet hurt a lot, and I was pretty exhausted, but me and some of the other 4th grade teachers do this 7-minute workout at the end of the day, and that's why I changed at the end of the day, and that kind of like gave me a second wind, and I was ready to like keep going again, so that was nice. I'm just going to spend the rest of my night relaxing, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Good morning, guys. I found out that this setting has better lighting on my camera. So it's 6:18 and I am off to my 2nd day of school. I forgot to mention yesterday, the cubbies worked awesome. The backpacks hang out a little bit. We have them lie flat, but they work. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, it was a challenge to get up this morning, but I made it, and I will be on my way. Alright, so I just got to school, and I made a scavenger hunt last night just for around the classroom, just find certain things, and a 0 and 1s times tables. So I'm gonna go make copies, put my lunch up, and grab some water. I'm starting my keep the quote. So I took this off the wall. It's nice because it just hangs on a command hook. I kind of mentioned it to my kids yesterday, and they seemed excited. They didn't really understand, but I mean, that's understandable. So I am going to see how this unfolds. What I did is I looked up the hashtag keep the quote on Instagram, and I was looking for sort of like a day 1, week 1 kind of quote, and I found be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody by Kid President, and I think that's pretty straightforward and they'll be able to understand it. So I am going to try to write that pretty. We'll see how it goes. Here it is. Be somebody who makes everybody feel like a somebody. Kid President. And I like it in this area. And today we're talking about the classroom library, so I think it's the perfect time to start that because they'll be able to look at it, envision themselves at it, and want the quote. And I'm so happy because my library is labeled. Besides, I bought new bins at Big Lots just to fill that spot. I think I'm gonna do 2 hospital and or maybe 1 hospital and 1 book return, or 2 book returns, or something like that. So that's why those aren't labeled yet. To erase this and rewrite my morning message. Oh, we have, good morning, please read at least the first 10 pages of both of the books on your desk. Whichever one you like better, keep reading. We will talk about the classroom library when everyone gets here. Let's make it a great day too. And they all have 2 books on their desk. This was such an easy thing to do. Like, it was not difficult at all to pick books. Like, I haven't even read a lot of children's books in a really long time, but I am familiar with a good amount of them. So if a kid was looking for a particular book, either I tried to find it or I tried to find a similar one that had like the same type of wording and that didn't look intimidating, and I kind of had a feeling of their reading levels, especially by the books they wrote down. Like, some of them wrote their favorite book was Biscuit. They're 4th graders, guys. So for that particular student, I found some really exciting basic books like Flat Stanley, and I forget the other one I picked, but they were really easy, like introductory chapter books. So yeah, I'm really excited about this activity. Well, I'm gonna get a few other things ready, and I have morning duty, so I'll be out there, and I will see you guys after school. To put my schedule magnets up today, so I just wanted to show you what it looks like. I really, really like it. Hey guys, I have survived day 2. I've been making copies for math tomorrow because it is our first day of actually teaching content. So just getting myself prepared. So I haven't been vlogging. It's already 5:30 and I have to leave soon. The school closes at 6. So tomorrow is our enrichment day, when we have all of our specials on one day. So we have a 3-hour planning period. However, we need to use that to plan next week. So I just have to make sure I'm ready. And yeah, I think I'm good for right now. I have my number talk planned out. I'm just going to talk about 2s and how multiplication means groups of. And then our homework is write the place, write the value of the bolded number, and then write the numbers in word form and write them in standard form on the bottom. We're covering up to the thousands, word form and standard form tomorrow. And then I also printed out number words paper, since the kids are going to have to spell the words. I just thought that would be helpful. So I have to print a little bit of stuff at home, but for the most part, I think I'm okay. I'm just trying to get myself together. I'm using my puzzle pieces that I made over the summer. This is free on my Teachers Pit Teachers. The link is down below. It's just thousands place, expanded form, word form, and standard form puzzle pieces. So I'm going to have the kids, I'm only passing out the standard number form and the word form, and they're going to be able to ride a roller coaster. But to be able to ride the roller coaster, they have to find the person whose word matches theirs. I need to get myself together. Good morning. As you can see, it is light outside today. It's 7 o'clock right now. I decided to sleep in because today's Wednesday, which means it is my enrichment day, 3-hour planning period in the morning. So I just see the kids for homeroom and then I take them on their way. So let's go. It's after school and my kids took their 1s and 0s multiplication division quizzes yesterday. So I'm just taking the time to write their names on the numbers to be on the math wall. Guys, I am exhausted. I'm going home. I've done like nothing. Just tried to take in my day. Good morning. It is Thursday. I have almost made it through my first week. My goodness. I forgot how it feels to have to wake up every single morning. I've been doing this thing though where I'm going to bed without my computer. So I think that's been good. I've been sleeping better, which is interesting. But I'm exhausted, and I was exhausted at the end of yesterday. If you couldn't tell by my attitude and rarely any clips. Oh my goodness. I was also a little bit frustrated because my math lesson didn't really happen because I spent a lot of time going over morning work. So I think I'm gonna have the kids share their answers at their tables and talk about it. That way it could be like quick, and if they're really struggling, then I'll look into that more. But these are basic problems. I think they're doing okay. So the first thing I do in the morning is I write my morning message. And I'm glad I've had one every morning, and I'm glad I'm using this board for it because it's just here in the way anyway, so why not use it? Good morning. Happy Thursday. Please complete day 4 for morning work. When you are finished, you can independently read, which they've been doing a fantastic job of. Don't forget about your lunch choice. We have almost made it through our first week together. And then their lunch choice, I just set that up. I added the 31st. I fixed our schedule because yesterday was Enrichment schedule. And yeah, I've decided to keep the expo markers in their table caddies now. They've been doing a good job of keeping track of or leaving all the materials here, which is nice. I think it's partly because they don't bring their backpacks with them, so they don't really have anywhere to sneak it. And I've just like set the tone. Somehow it's just been amazing. So I think I'm gonna go get my new chair out of my car, because I don't know if I told you guys, but I got a new chair. New chair. This was on sale for $49.99 at Office Depot. Cute. Love it. And it's super cushiony. I have 10 more minutes right now, so I'm trying to go through my file bucket and file things, and then I have to go on morning duty. Hey guys, I survived the day, and I feel so different than I did yesterday. Like, my feet hurt, but I'm not terribly exhausted. So right now I'm going through their math independent practice to see how they did and who I will need to pull tomorrow for a small group to reteach. Hey guys, I thought that I would use this time to sit down and chat about my first week. Yesterday, I was planning on vlogging a lot more, but I was in my mentor with I was in my meeting with my mentor, and someone said that North Carolina was going to call a state of emergency and that we had to get gas now because of everything that's been going on in Texas, which, by the way, if any of you are in Texas, my prayers go out to you. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even begin to imagine what you're going through. So something shutting down there that would affect over here, so we had to get gas. So we kind of and there was already a lineup at the gas station according to this person we were talking to, so we had to drop everything we were doing, and especially me, my car was on empty. No. So we just decided to call it a day and go get gas. That way we would be prepared. So I left abruptly and didn't get much done, but I do have an idea of what I'm doing today. So yesterday was basically my first real math lesson, and I believe it went super well. I went through the kids' papers yesterday like I was showing you, and there's only a couple of them that missed like a few things here and there. So I'm going to try to address those issues before we move on today. And I decided when it comes to going from word form to standard form, I'm going to have them draw a little place value chart or draw 4 lines or however many numbers are in the number. If it says they have 5, they know that's the ones place, so they can go ahead and place their number there. If it says they have 10, they can place their number. So the ones that are missing, they can realize, what do I need to put here? My placeholders, my zeros. Hopefully that'll work. Because some of them struggled with, like, when 6005 was written in word form, they're like, okay, well that's 6-5. Now I tried to talk it through with those kids and be like, okay, read me this word form, now read me your number. And they realized it was different. So I did a lot of picture it in your head. Don't even, once you read it, picture it. Don't even focus on the word. Focus on, if I told you to write this number, how would you write it? Okay, I'm deciding that this concealer makes my eyes burn. Every time I put it on, like, it's burning. I don't know why. And it's actually really uncomfortable. There was something in my eye yesterday and I kept like trying to pull it out, and I like ended up scratching my inner corner, and I'm just a mess, guys. But second year is a huge difference compared to my first year. Like, I know how to run my classroom. I know how to show my kids that I'm in control. Like, everything has been going great. I have not had many problems at all. Yesterday they were a little confused because it's the first day we did our entire real schedule. So by the time they got back to my room at the end of the day, they thought it was time to pack up, but we had science, and it was the first day I taught science, so that was interesting too, going from math all day to a different subject, since I didn't do that at all last year. So it's been fun. I'm really pleased with the way things are going. They've all been getting their agendas signed and their study logs signed. It's funny because I'm hearing like the other teams, the other 4th grade teams, I'm hearing them mention that like parents are confused and yada yada yada. And I'm just like, my parents are following my directions. They're doing a great job. So I'm excited. I am excited. I like how this year we did not start on the second day. Last year I started teaching on the second day and it was too soon. So the first day we kept our homeroom for majority of the day and just met with our second class for a few minutes. When I met with my second class, I just basically introduced myself and introduced studying math facts. Then the next day we did our actual schedule, but we did like activities and stuff, like get to know you activities. And then Wednesday was our enrichment day, so the kids were gone for the morning, And that was a little confusing for them, which I forgot because our Wednesday schedule is different than the rest of our schedules. Every other day, my partner teacher brings my homeroom to lunch, and I was bringing my homeroom, and they were so confused. And they were like, wait, well, aren't we going to our other teacher? And it was just a little confusing, but I mean, they'll get used to it. I've had a student absent for 2 days. Tuesday, he left early. He didn't feel well. We got to lunch and he said he felt like he was going to throw up, but we think he felt like he was going to pass out because he didn't eat anything and we have the last lunch. So I don't know why he needed to miss 2 days of school after that. I'm hoping he's okay. This is when I need to think how I'm going to catch kids back up, because last year I didn't really catch kids back up. It was like science, social studies, you knew it or you didn't, whatever. But math is so important, and he missed the first math lesson. So, oh my gosh, one of my AIG kids, she missed my entire lesson because she was pulled to do some AIG testing, and she came in and did her independent work and turned it in, and I didn't know. And I was like talking to her at lunch, and I was like, you missed my entire lesson, didn't you? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, when you get back into the room, bring your stuff to me so I can explain it to you. And then we go back to the room and she's like, oh, I already turned that in. I'm like, you knew how to do it? Genius child. And she got them all right. If you guys actually let me know, how do you explain, when you're writing in word form, how do you explain the dash that's between the 1s and the 10s, like 50-4? Like, I was trying to explain it to my kids, but I'm like, I don't know the reason. And I'm the type of person that likes to explain the why behind things. So I kind of was just saying, they need to be together. But then my kids started putting dashes after the hundreds, and oh goodness. So today we're moving on to expanded form and 10,000s. I'm playing a little dice game. I'm trying out centers today, just 2. They're gonna have their independent work, which I use to help me see who I need to pull the next day. And they're going to do a dice roll activity that I planned a long time ago. This is so good. It's like really good chocolate milk breakfast essentials thing that I showed you at the beginning of the week. And I have not felt faint at all. Like, we have the last lunch and that is all I eat before lunch, and I've been good. All right, I'll see you guys later. So this is one of the activities we're doing today, the rolling the dice. So I made 15 copies and I'm going to put them in the dry erase sheets because this is practice. The one I'm collecting is this one, and I know it's upside down, but so half of them will start with that one, and then the other half will get practice first, and they'll get to go back. Taking this time to clean off my desk. I have to do a new morning message and fix the lunch choice. Guys, so excuse the appearance. You want to know how I ended my first week of school? In a tornado warning at dismissal. Oh my. So we had to hold the kids for an hour after their typical dismissal time, and it was just crazy. Like, at first we didn't know why they were holding us, and I had 2 classes of children in my room because the car riders went, and oh my Then we had to bring all the kids in the hallway, finally. Like, I almost got through 2 whole Magic School Bus episodes, things. So, I mean, luckily I had that to play. Well, it was on Discovery Education, but... So I played that, and they were pretty calm. Some of them were a little bit scared. There were a few kids crying, not in my classroom, but in others. And so... they said the buses couldn't go out, so kids' parents who were bus riders started coming to pick them up, but they had to come in the office, and each individual person had to show their ID, and they had to check if they could pick up that kid. So they had all of our kids, every single grade. This is like an 800 children filled school, sitting in this one hallway. We had to keep them completely silent. They were calling kids' names on the walkies so we could find them and get them to go. And I mean, it was pretty organized for us for never having to do something like that, but wow. Then they decided it was okay for the buses to go out. So they sent the remaining children on the buses an hour after their original dismissal time. So that was an experience. I'm on my way home now, so happy first week of school.